welcome back everybody. Aesop Grim here, and this is actually going to be the wrap-up of our second Chronicle and Bannerlord. We've been playing as one of the Sons of Battania in this one. If you watched the last episode, which I recorded this morning, you know that today was the Steam release sale. I actually mentioned there were a couple games I was going to be buying, and there's sort of a convergence of circumstances here. Number one, I'm at almost 50 episodes. I'm just kind of ready for this series to be done. Number two, within the game itself, we're at an excellent point because we're not at war with anybody. Number three, I'm not sure what else I would gain in advancing myself in this game by continuing with trying to knock out the rest of Valandia. And number four, I have new games. I got Mass Effect 3 and I got the DLC for X4 Foundations. You're not likely to see X4 Foundations anytime soon unless I play it as a live stream where I can get some help, because that game, there's a lot for me to learn. But I got the Cradle of Humanity DLC there. And I got, I think I said Mass Effect 3, I meant Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I also, a little while ago, wound up purchasing Metro Redux, the first Metro. I think it's called Metro 2033, and then Metro 2 was Metro Exodus, I believe. And I might want to do a playthrough on that real quick, because that's a different kind of... Most of the games I've been playing have been sandbox games. Grand strategy games that have extreme complexity to them, and that Metro game, it's a nice break for me. I'm enjoying it. One of the reasons I enjoy it is because it's very simple and straightforward. It's a traditional game that gives you a storyline to follow. It's the opposite of an open world, and you don't have to make your own story. You're following a well-scripted, well-done story that's been interesting. And I've only played maybe, I don't know how far I've gotten into it, but I don't think I'm maybe a quarter, at the most half. And so I might make a series out of that as well. So those are the reasons why I'm going ahead and wrapping this one up right where we're at. And let's do a recap on where exactly that is. We've extended over into Valandian lands. We've taken almost the entirety of the south of Valandia. We don't have Galen. We've killed 3 or 4 of their kings, I think. We're beginning now to extend definitely into Western Imperial lands. Where's Orticia at? Did I not take that castle? I did. Okay, there's Guarantor Castle. We're clearly moving over in that direction. And then, of course, we have a good chunk of Sturgia as well. I began this game with the idea of completing the main quest. I still have not accomplished that. And so then I downgraded my goal to taking out all of Valandia, but instead what we ended up doing is taking over quite a bit of Sturgia. And anyway, we have expanded, though. The things that I learned in this game would probably be, for this one, I think I became a better fighter on the field. I got more adept at that. I enjoyed doing the companion cavalry thing. I don't know if I'll continue to do that in the future, every now and again, but not all the time. But what I did learn with the companion cavalry, well, let's talk about the negative first. This game is an absolute grind to level your companions up, but it is doable. And so you could do kind of a King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table sort of role play using this method that I used, and it might be quite interesting. But I would only do that for certain... I wouldn't do that every single game, I don't think, because leveling them up is hard. If you do select the invincible option, then the other upside is that you can risk taking them on whatever missions you want to take them on, like crashing bandit villages, hideouts, and stuff, and you're not going to lose them, you know. And so that's nice that they get injured in fights and stuff like that, but they don't die, so you can continue leveling them up, and maybe throughout an entire world conquest you might get them pretty high up there. My companions seem to be doing okay. I really actually don't know that for sure. I didn't track their progress well enough, but you could do something like that. What else did I learn? Blacksmithing. Blacksmithing is almost essential for the early game. I do want to find out if trade is a suitable substitute. I've heard that the trade tree is pretty powerful. But later, once you get to about mid-game or so, when you start accruing properties, I haven't needed to smith in a long time, and that's because my properties at the top 3 numbers there, the village tax, the castle tax, and then the workshop income. Caravan balance should be higher than it is, but I got at least 2 guys sitting around somewhere, either in somebody's dungeon or some city where I have not put them back out. But the top 2, I should say, are the taxes I'm getting from the properties that we've been awarded. I have 12 villages and 7 castles. That's a lot. So I haven't had to make anything for quite a while. Even though, look, the elite, that's old geek speak right there, 1337, elite speak. But I haven't had to smith for a while. But early game, it is really nice to have, and I've seen a few people say it's even essential. The next time that I bring up Bannerlord to play, and I'm not sure when that's going to be, but another reason why this is a good place to end it is because Bannerlord has since upgraded, and we recently had, is it patch 1.71? I can't quite remember. This is December 22nd, and it was not too long ago, but there's been a big patch that brought a lot of new stuff to this game. One of which is the charm tree is like really nice right now. And so I'm very highly tempted to play as either Empire or Valandia. And I'm leaning towards Empire, even though mercenary contracts also look to be real nice, and that's a natural. You could role play either one. I could see myself role playing as a hedge knight out here that starts a mercenary band, or as your typical just Roman noble, or a Roman that's working his way up through the nobility or something like that, where charm becomes important as well as a battlefield experience. And I am leaning towards Empire. So we'll see, and I'm not sure when that time will come, but in the meantime, that's the wrap up on this episode. You can see our borders have expanded nicely. I had quite a bit of fun. I learned a few things. Oh, I forgot to say, the biggest thing that I learned, and it wasn't new for me, it's just that I actually messed with it, was I influence. Look at all this influence I have to spend, and I started finally taking a look at policies and passing some of these policies. I believe that there's a lot more for me to do with influence. I could have sworn I've seen on YouTube people have used influence to strip others of castles. I'm not really sure. You cannot annex a ruling clan settlement. I'm not really sure how they might have done that. Maybe they have a mod. There is a diplomacy mod out there for Bannerlord. I don't think I have that one loaded up. And maybe that allows you to do that. But I was able to pull armies together. I probably need to be doing that a lot earlier than what I did here. I just have influence for days, and that's what you need to bring these big armies together and start really turning the tide of battle. So, as compared to my first Chronicle playthrough, the second Chronicle, this one right here, that's the defining thing that I learned how to do, was to begin to peddle my influence and use that. I still really need to learn how to start my own kingdom. I just haven't been comfortable enough to get that going yet for whatever reason. I'm kind of content to just learn the mechanics of the game, but maybe that's something I'll try in the next series. I don't know. We'll see. And I think that's all I have to say on that, guys. It's been a good playthrough. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll go ahead and sign off now. I don't know what the next series I'm going to play is. I'll go ahead and just give you the rundown. I have the X4 game, but that is not ready to go to a series. I have a lot to learn on that. The only way you see that on YouTube right now is if I live stream it, where I'm looking for live help. That's a possibility. But I have learned, I'm not a big fan of streaming constantly. I don't know quite how to put this. I'm an introvert. And so for me, video games are a way of unplugging from the world. And so that's why I kind of like to record games. And I like the idea of providing some sort of a service for people who are kind of stuck at home. I mean, whether we're talking about a quarantine, a lockdown, or your life circumstances have you in a situation where you could just use some free entertainment, But and so I like to provide that. But at the same time, it's not, streaming and talking live with people is not something that I could do on a routine basis. That will drain my energy instead of building it up. Social butterflies are the opposite, and those are your best streamers, are your social butterfly types, in my opinion. But if I do X4 anytime soon on YouTube, it's going to be in a live stream format. And that's what I want understood. Whenever I explain this aspect to you, I don't want you to think, oh, this guy will never stream. No, that's not the case. It's that if I were to stream, I want that to be a highly engaging social experience. And when I stream, I do enjoy talking with the people. I've had a lot of fun, a lot. Like, I've kind of been stunned actually at how much fun I've had streaming with other gamers that are into the game that I'm into, and we're talking about all kinds of things, not just the video game. It's genuinely fun. It's just not something I could see myself doing routinely. I will burn out quickly on something like that. So X4 probably not going to show up on YouTube unless I do that kind of a thing, a live stream format. The other options, I just got Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and which is Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and kind of overhauled with a new UI and some updated graphics. And that was quite a fun series that I played through on my own, this prior to YouTube, way years and years and years ago, and really enjoyed it. So I might do that one. If I do, it's very likely to be split up into 3 Chronicles with and they won't be back to back to back in all likelihood. I'll alternate Mass Effect with other games. Another option is Metro 2033 Redux, I think is what it's called. I think I talked about that opening up this game here. Gosh, now this is the second time I've recorded this video, and I'm not sure if I talked about it or not, but I'm enjoying that game because it's like an anti-sandbox. It's a classic video game. It's a scripted game. It has a narrative. It guides you along, and that's very different from the open-ended, complex, deep, grand strategy sandbox type games that I've been playing. Much, much, much more straightforward, simple to play, but engaging and fun, and a great story. So I might do a series on that because it would be easy, and then because that game's fairly, it's old, it's also cheap, and so if I do that, then I can follow up with the Metro Exodus pretty easily. So that's an option. Crusader Kings 3 is another option, and that's what comes to mind right now. I think that's it. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. Whenever I played Mass Effect, I played as a biotic. That was awesome. That was so fitting with my personality, and it was really, really cool. And I'm really nervous that the other classes will be a letdown for me, but I want to do a different class. So what I'm about to do now is go watch some YouTube videos and kind of get a class overview. I'm thinking maybe Sentinel, because it's a hybrid of biotic, but I don't know for sure. And I'll talk more about that in the intro video if I do end up doing Mass Effect. But I do have to kind of decide what's going to come next. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. That'll close it out for this. Again, I'm Aesop Grim. Thank you for coming by this channel. I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, you guys. I hope, again, I hope all is well with you. And I wish many blessings upon you and yours. Okay, much love and respect. And I will see you in the next series where that story begins. This is Aesop Grim signing off. Merry Christmas.